Hey everybody, it's Cornelius Peter back with another book review. Sorry I haven't been making lots of videos lately, but I have been reading lots of books. And one that I really enjoyed, I wanted to tell you about today. It's Acid for the Children by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, you don't have to be a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers to enjoy this book. It actually tells the story of his life up to the point where he joined the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I tell you, it was a wild ride even up to that point. So he's lived a crazy life. He moved to America from Australia when he was a little kid. And when he was about 12, his family moved to Hollywood. And they basically just let him run wild. Like, the story of his life from 12 to 18 is more packed full of insane stories than most people have in 10 or 12 lives. I mean, this book could have easily been called, I Can't Believe I Wasn't Molested. He was running around the streets of Hollywood alone in the 80s when Hollywood was, I mean, not that Hollywood's not a crazy place now. And when I say Hollywood, I'm talking about the physical town of Hollywood, not Tinseltown, but like the mean streets of crazy punk rock, early days Hollywood. He was going to bars when he was like 14. He was in bands when he was like 15, 16, not old enough to drink. They had to party in the parking lot and whatever. But he was in movies. He was in Suburbia, which is a great movie that I remember from my youth, Penelope Spheris. I had totally forgotten about that. But anyway, his life is so packed with crazy stories up until the point where he joined the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I can't wait for the sequel to read what happened after he joined the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, that part must have been interesting too, but this part was crazy. So anyway, I totally love this book. It has a lot in common with all the other rock biographies that I love, which is these books, you always know you're going to get sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and you get it, you get the funny stories, but you also get this story told by a really intelligent, really thoughtful, really sensitive person. Whether it's Bob Dylan or Bruce Springsteen or Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth, the way they're able to tell their story in a really artistic, interesting, funny way. I mean, Flea's got a quirky style that it might take you a second to get used to, but I think is really funny and entertaining. But when you take somebody who's lived a crazy life, which is what all rock stars basically have to go through in order to become that person, you have to make crazy choices. You have to do dangerous things. You have to take a lot of risks. You have to go through a lot of hardship. And so that makes for a great story. But then when you get that story told by somebody who's artistic and intelligent and articulate and can tell that story to you in a way that really hits you in places that you weren't expecting. Like it's really, emotional, the way he's just trying to, become a better human being like we all are, and all these people are. It's just that they're able to express it in a way that for us is really entertaining. So I love this book. It's also a great story of Los Angeles. If you like books about LA, I love stories about LA, my adopted hometown. So if you like that, it hits all the marks there. The way he describes life in Hollywood in the 80s is just fascinating. It's amazing. I love walking around that neighborhood. I was just there yesterday. And it's changed so much from the time he was running around like a crazy kid. So if you love those kind of stories, you'll like it. If you like rock biographies, you'll like it. And even if you don't like any of those things, this is a good place to start. It's just a fun book. So I recommend it. Acid for the Children by Flea, and I'll see you next time.